Hi, I'm Erin and this is my presentation for the GE 113 Building Skills for Success class. My topic today is going to be talking about studying and how you can be an effective studier, so ways you can study properly, how to make studying more fun, and different tips and tricks that you can use to get better grades. So studying is a very dreadful task for most students, and many students don't realize that they need to plan time to study, so when they go to take their tests and stuff like that, they just don't do very well because they don't know how to study properly. But there is a way to fix that, and I'm going to tell you some ways that you can make it more enjoyable. So the first thing you need to know is how to study properly. And my first tip for that is to find a quiet place, like free of distractions, like the library, or maybe you have a lounge at school, or there's an extra empty classroom that you can use to go and do your studying in, so you're free from distractions and there isn't going to be anybody that's going to be bothering you, or your family maybe, or friends texting you and stuff like that. And that goes along with my next point. So you find a place free from distractions, it can help you focus and you can complete more and learn more in your allotted time that you have. So my next point is study at a desk rather than on your bed, because if you study on your bed, a bed is made for sleeping. So when you study on your bed, it'll make you feel tired, and because you're laying down, so that you have more of a chance of falling asleep, and you probably won't retain your information as much because you're tired and you're not focused on that. So if you sit at a desk and you sit straight up, you'll be more awake and it will help you with your studying. And the next tip for how to study properly is turn off all your electronics. So power down your phone or put it across the room and turn it off, so that you're not worried about, oh, who's texting me, or oh, what's this Twitter notification, so that you can focus on your studying and not be worried about everything going on outside of that. And there's an app that you can put on your computer if you need to use your computer for something and you know that you might get distracted and go on YouTube or find Facebook kind of thing. And it's called Stay Focused, and you can block those apps for the allotted amount of time that you are making to study. So say you want to study for an hour and a half, so you can put that and you can block Facebook for an hour and a half, so you're not tempted to go and chat with your friends on Facebook or go look at Facebook posts. And another tip on how to study properly is find what study methods work for you. So me personally, rewriting my notes and flashcards work really well. And don't just, oh, I use flashcards, okay, so that must work for me too. No. So some things that people use are flashcards, acronyms, maybe watching some YouTube videos or podcasts, or rewriting your notes, or even having group study sessions, because, yep. My next tip for studying is how to make studying more fun. So because it's so boring and dreadful, like everyone wants to learn how to study and not be so bored and oh my god, it's time to study now. So one way you can do that, like I said in the last one, is study in groups, because when you're studying in a group, you're with more people, so you're not so alone and put by yourself. And then you can also, when you're in a group, you teach others, so that makes you learn it more, so you know that you know the material. Another one that I also like to use is listening to music, but I don't listen to normal music that you hear on the radio like Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber. I listen to classical music or instrumental, because that way you're not focused on the lyrics of the song and it kind of relaxes you and you just kind of listen to the music. And one playlist I recommend for that, which I use quite often and I really like, is Deep Focus on the Spotify app. And it's just a bunch of instrumental songs and kind of like almost like something you would hear in a yoga class, sort of, but I really like that one and it works well for me. So another one that I like to use a lot is adding color to your notes, so like highlighting things, as you can see. But the only thing about that could be bad is that you could over highlight things. So you just want to remember to highlight key points of certain things, because then when you're going over your notes later and studying it outside of class, you know the key points of what you went over in that class, and not, oh, half of my page is full of highlighter, what is even important? So that's something else that I personally like to do, and it helps me remember certain things about it that I would need to know on a test. So the last thing I have to say about studying are different tips and how you can get better grades with these kind of weird tips. So the first one, which I've never personally tried but I've heard a lot of people do, is chewing a flavor of gum that you never usually chew. So say if you really like mint gum, then you would go and buy a fruity kind of gum and chew that while you're studying, and then also chew it when you go to take your test. And apparently it can help you with like bringing out those key information points that you studied like a couple days ago or something. So it's just a way to bring out the information that you studied. So another tip I have is to stay organized. I was really bad at this in high school, and I kind of started like that at the beginning of the semester, but then I realized, okay, I really need to get my butt in gear and do something about it. So being organized with like a planner or a calendar or something like that is really helpful. So like I put sticky notes for tests and then what week it is and if I have a test that week and just like all of my assignments and stuff like that. And it really helps when you go for a day that you want to do homework and you don't know what's due within the next week, so you can just go straight to your planner and look, and then you know what's due. And another way that helps with the planners is, I don't have much in this one because it's August, but the monthly layout. So like if you were to write, say on the 19th you have a test, then you can know a week early, okay, I should really start studying for that test I have now, so that you can be prepared and not be cramming the night before when you know you have a test. So that's another thing. And also to go along with this is to-do lists, which I like to do personally because then I can visually see what I have. So something like this, where you have what you need to do, and then this, I just planned out my weekend because I knew how much homework I had to do and stuff. But if you have a to-do list, that is really good for like if you're a visual learner, then you can physically see what you have due and when you have to do it, so that you can kind of plan out how much time you might need to make this assignment and everything. So that works personally for me. And when using your planner, a way that can really help you stay even more organized is color coordinating things. So say if you have a test, you color coordinate your tests with a yellow highlighter, and you color coordinate your assignments with an orange highlighter. So that way you know, if you just look at it, then you go, oh, okay, I have a presentation due on the 23rd. And then that way you are able to know what you have without kind of reading it. But that is a way that helps me to organize my assignments and tests and projects that I have due. So, and the last tip I have for being an effective studier is to take lots of breaks, which, like, what I don't mean is take a break every 5 minutes, kind of maybe study for half an hour and then take a 10-minute break and go eat something or go watch a YouTube video or go through your Facebook page. But make sure that you know and keep track of the time that you are doing these things, so you don't end up taking an hour break because you're on Facebook. Because then that way you're not going to want to go back and study. So a way to do that effectively is to set alarms on your phone or your alarm clock or something, so that every half an hour your alarm would go off, and then you know, okay, well, it's time to take a break now. And lots of people just say, oh, I don't have time for breaks, but taking breaks will actually refresh your mind and you will be able to retain more information because you're not doing it all at once. So that is another thing. And something to go along with that is drink lots of water, because it's really easy to get dehydrated when you're studying for hours on end and not doing anything. So as long as you're drinking water, then your brain will kind of stay alert and active. So studying properly can really make a world of difference when you're studying for tests and stuff like that, because you know how to properly do it. And so having fun ways to do it can make it even more enjoyable. And these different tips and tricks, I hope, can help you in finding different ways that maybe work better for you than what you've normally been doing. And maybe a few of these tips can even help you get an A on your next test. So studying is a scary word when it comes to schooling, but with a few different tips and tricks, I think it can be done no problem.